Oklahoma executes James Coddington for 1997 murder, the first of 25 executions set through 2024. Oklahoma has executed 50-year-old James Coddington, the first of 25 death row inmates testate tensto put to death row through 2024, the state's corrections director confirmed Thursday morning. Coddington, how Washington said to for murdering Albert Hale in 1997 amid his struggle with a crack cocaine addiction, was executed after Republican Governor Kevin Stitt on Wednesday denied his request for clemency. Coddington Saturday Send advocates had hoped his life would be spared, pointing to his remorse for Hale's murder, his traumatic childhood and rehabilitation while on Oklahoma's death row. The time of death was 10:16 a.m. Central Time, Department of Corrections Director Scott Crow told reporters. "Today's not a good day, it's not a bad day, it's just a new day for our family," Mitchell Hale, the victim's son, told reporters after attending the execution. "We can finally move on. It's not going to heal anything, but it closed this chapter." Coddington's execution was the first of more than 24 state officials planned to carry out between December 2024, at a pace of a butillman a month. Opponents have been critical of the plan. There are outstanding questions about some inmates' innocency or mental fitness for execution, their attorney Shave said, and critics have pointed to state's recent history of botched lethal injections. Those troubles, dating back to 2014 execution of Clayton Lockett, Howard Dandmond on the gurney for 43 minutes before suffering a heart attack, had prompted officials to put executions on hold during investigations and reviews of capital punishment in the state. Executions resumed last October, with inmate John Grant, who convulsed and vomited on the gurney, per witnesses. But there were absolutely no issues with Coddington's execution, Crow said. The execution today went in accordance with the protocol, with no issues at all. Coddington just the AV during the execution, but it was not dramatic or to that point where his body lifted from the gurney, said the Associated Press Sean Murphy, one of 5 media witnesses of the execution. The inmate's breathing appeared to be labored, he said. "I think the execution was pretty par fourth course, given the drugs used." Coddington in his final words thanked his family, friends and lawyers, according to them witnesses, and also Stitt, saying, "I don't blame you, and I forgive you." Coddington did not express remorse for Hale's killing, Mitchell Hale said, saying the omission proved the inmate's previous expressions of remorse weren't genuine. "He never apologized, he never mentioned me Mitty, never mentioned my family," Thessalman's son said. So, there was no true remorse. Coddington supporters had tried to save his life, including during a hearing this month before Oklahoma's Pardon Amparole Board, which voted 3-2 to recommend Coddington receive clemency, sending the decision to Stitt. Coddington had asked for his sentence to be commuted to life in prison, where his advocates, among them the former director of the state's Department of Corrections and a former Speaker of the State House of Representatives, said he had finally overcome his addiction and could serve as a good influence on other inmates. "I don't think it would serve at the best interest of the state of Oklahoma to execute Mr. Coddington," Justin Jones, the former prisons director, told Public Radio Tulsa this month. State Attorney General John O'Connor and Hale's family did not support clemency. And while Hale's son told the parole board at the hearing he had forgiven Coddington, "My forgiveness does not release him from the consequence of his actions," Mitchell Hale said, according to CNN affiliate Coco. Stitt ultimately needed clemency after he had reviewed both sides' arguments, his office said Wednesday in a statement. Coddington and his lawyers were profoundly disheartened, lawyer Emma Rolls said in a statement. "James is loved by many people," Rolls told CNN, "and he has touched the hearts of many. He is a good man." 24 Murray executions scheduled over next 2 years.